Hi, this is Lisa Tedder with Tedder Bear Stamping, and this is Tuesday, so I'm doing a continuation on this card on my technique series. Last week we did the eclipse card, and I did this card here. It's very pretty. You can see it's got dimension. And this week I'm going to do what I showed you last week for the inside. And I'm calling this Cascading Steps. So it's very gorgeous, and it's not as hard as you would think. I will have the PDF available on my blog here, and it is free for whoever wants to come and just grab it off my blog. And just follow along with my instructions here, and it'll make it much easier for you. Alright, so this is what I'm going to have on my blog. It's a instructions on where to put your cardstock and the width and everything, which way to fold it. So, and I have a thing here that says score and cut. So this is where you're going to be putting your paper when you line it up on your cutter, and this is where you're going to be cutting and scoring. So let's get started. We're going to start with a 4.5 by 9. And I am going to bring in my cutter. I'm going to move this now so that I don't get it in the way. I want to make sure you guys can see. Alright, so it doesn't matter that this is on because this is going to be hidden and under here. So I'm just going to show you how this works. So I'm going to bring in my cheat sheet so that I can explain to you how I'm doing this. So the first cut you're going to do is at the 2-inch mark. You bring in your cutter, but you place the edge of your paper at the 1/2 inch. So since it's easier than doing this at a 1/2 inch and trying to get it, I'm starting where this goes off, because that's the great thing about the Stampin' Up! Cutter, is that you have this extra room, so it gives you a little bit more room to work with. So as of my cheat sheet here, I am going to place my cutting tool here at the 2-inch mark and go down to 5. So do that, and then I'm going to flip it upside down and do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're just mirroring what we did before. Alright, then we move to the 1-inch spot, which is on this one, and we're going to go from 2.5 to 5.5. It's by 1/2 inch increments. Flip it over, go to the 1 inch, 5.5 to 2.5. Alright, now this is when we have to move it this way, but now we have room to maneuver. So then we're going to go to the 1.5 and go from 3 to 6. Flip it over, 1.5, and then I just go back up 6 to 3. Alright, then we go to the 2-inch and go from 3.5 to 6.5. Flip it over so that we can get the other side, and 6.5 to 3.5. That is how these are now done. So that, let's move this. I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored and lay this down, and let's see, I want to make sure that I do this the right way. Okay, there we go. So when it's like pointing down is the way you want to start. So you're going to go from the 2-inch here, and you're just going to meet this line to this line. Then you're just going to meet each line where you stop cutting and just go to that. And I'm going to skip the middle for now, just so that we can continue with what I'm doing right here. Then you're going to come in at 4 inches and just kind of, don't push down, but just kind of drag your impressor to the 4-inch. Alright, then we're going to meet these lines. So wherever you stop cutting, you're going to go straight across, and we're going to do that the same way. We're going to do the middle now, And if you're off, it doesn't matter because it's going to come out when you go to fold it. So then we want the card to be able to fold, and since this is by 9, the halfway part is 4.5, and we just want to go to that first line, and we're going to turn it around and do 4.5. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So this is where you need to kind of pay attention. Put your fingers in here and just bend this up just a little bit. You don't have to do a lot, just to give it a little bit. And then you're going to go to fold these two and poke these out with behind the card. And then you can see you're folding on this line. So then I'm going to come in without putting any pressure on the scores yet. I'm going to line up my two edges right here. And then I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just enhance those lines I made earlier. And turn it over and make sure I do that side too. So then, when you have it, that's what you have. Let's do this part first because this is what you're going to need to cover this up so that it looks more finished. So I come in with a piece of Berry Burst, and it's 4 3/8 squared. And I'm going to need my cutter again. And you're going to come down 1 7/8. So we'll do it like the 1 7/8. And then you're going to start at 3/8 inch, which is the line right before the 1/2 inch, and go to 4. And then you're going to put it at the 3/8 inch, which is easier on this side than it is on this side. So we'll just flip it. And that is again right before the bigger line, right before the 1/2 inch. And you're just going to meet that score line you did, or the cut line, and go straight down. Then you're going to flip it and do the exact same thing. Go straight down. And then there you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and I would run this through to get the butterflies, and I don't want to do that now just because I think that it would be, well, let's go ahead. I'll do it real quick, and then sorry about my dog. It's his duty to keep me safe when I'm home. So alright, so I'm going to run this through the Big Shot and come right back with the butterflies on it. Okay, so now this has been gone through. I'm going to go ahead and use my adhesive. And I like to use snail for this just so that I have a little bit more leeway. So you make sure you go down your legs of your piece that you just cut, and across the top and at the bottom. Then you're going to line it up here. Make sure it comes down to the bottom. And if you get one side, you'll get the other side because that's the way we cut it. Alright, so we got that. Then we're going to come in and we're going to stamp it. And I'm just going to show you one, and I've already used this once, so ignore all these lines. But I'm just going to make sure because my stem here is longer than this and I don't want it to go on there. So I'll just do one and then I'll show you what I did. So you just put it here, make sure you leave room, here's the top right here, for your flower. And this was with Old Olive, and this is with Berry Burst. And I'm going to put the little flowers on here. Okay, so of course you're going to do the whole thing, and let me show you how I went ahead and put it into the base real quick, because when you're done you're going to have it look like this, just all the way across. And you're going to stamp this, and I put one of them coming up. So here's the card from last week, and I haven't put it on in the middle yet. So let me show you. You're going to close this up, and you're going to start with the one on the bottom to put the adhesive on. Now this is where I come in with the fast fuse, and you just want to go along the two sides, come up the middle, and then just do a couple on this side and then at the bottom here. Alright, so this is the top, this is the bottom. You're going to come in and you're going to line this up here and then just push this down. There's no adhesive on here yet. Then you're going to come down this leg. Only go on the ones that are like out. Don't go on any of the insides or else it won't open. And go along this bottom and this one. And then what you do is just close it. And then it's all set. Isn't that cool? Alright, so you're going to do the stamping and then it'll all be done. And here is the finished product one more time. And it's gorgeous. I use a little bit of the Wink of Stella to make the 25 show up a little bit better. But that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video and come back next week to see how I made the envelope, which is right here, with a liner. So I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.